Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We bring you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Diego Dario, and in tonight's game plan. After the trade surrounding the NBA, Coach Willy Wilson joins us to discuss who the Lakers need in order to compete with the best in the league.
And we'll also get in touch with the Master Sardines squad set to make their debut in the upcoming PBA 3x3 conference. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. We're still not done with our NBA trade deadline hangover because now it's time for us to talk about the implications and the future of our favorite teams. With that, tonight we bring back four-time UAAP champion Willy Wilson to give us his very own Willy Wishlist on some specific NBA teams following the trade deadline. And Jegs, before we turn to Coach Willy here, I just want to say that right before he went on air, he was fighting Gretchen Ho about Ateneo LaSalle. So he's here very hyped.
Okay.
He's very hyped right now.
But at least you guys are both from LaSalle, so...
Yeah, no, I was backing him up.
I
was backing him up.
Right
It was a 2-on-1 there a while ago. So, all right, let's get it going here, Jegs. How do we start off here?
All right, first of all, Coach Willy, I think the fans already know you've been in this show for quite a while that you are a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the first...
Through and through.
For the first one, we have your wish that the Lakers would pick up Goran Dragic.
Yeah, but
What can you say with that?
that did not happen. But
Yep.
My goodness.
Well, okay. I went on the record saying that Goran should sign with the Brooklyn Nets because they needed their home court point guard.
Yeah.
They ended up picking up Ben Simmons. Now, the rumor was that he would go to Dallas. They got Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously, anything that the Lakers can do to get Russell Westbrook off the court, I'm in favor of that. So, you know, the best candidate in my mind was Goran Dragic.
Yeah.
Much better shooter, finals experience, can take the pressure off of LeBron, AD, run the show a little bit here and there at 35 years old. I mean, I think it's a win-win for both. The Lakers still have a championship window, and I think Goran can come in and help them out there.
Well, you know, that did not come to pass. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't turn back time. But then you still mentioned that there's a championship window there. Do you still think that exists at the moment, even with Westbrook there? I know you wanted him gone. I know you wanted him moved. But that he's still there, and the roster as constructed as it is there still a quote-unquote championship window?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes so bad, but I mean, unless Russell Westbrook learns to shoot like Diego, then I honestly don't think that.
Yeah, you know,
that they can.
Diego, pang NBA pala shooting mo eh.
Oh, I like the confidence that Coach Willy is giving me right now. But just a quick one, Coach. Still about the Lakers. Do you think, you know, that Russell Westbrook should, you know, not really finish the games? What's your comment on that?
Ending the game.
They've been doing that for a while.
I've always been about the best players finish games, and the best players are determined throughout the first 3 quarters of the game. And if Russell Westbrook through 3 quarters is shooting 1 for 10 with like 5 turnovers and 2 assists, I mean, sit him down.
All right, no, that makes complete sense. All right, now we want to move on, and I think this is very special to you in particular, Coach. Of course, Ben Simmons, the wish for him, I'll mention it right now, is that to be in a good mental space to play for Brooklyn. And a lot has been said about his mental health, his mental status, and everything that came with the baggage that is Ben Simmons. And why is it so important for you that this particular issue gets sorted out sooner rather than later?
Well, you know, as athletes, you guys are both athletes. We all know the pressure that athletes go through. In the Philippines, it may be a little different than what it is like in the NBA, because in the NBA, you're playing for a city. Now, you need to go out and walk through that city, and to know that what Ben Simmons is going through, that city didn't want him there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine what he was feeling mentally, emotionally. Mental health is real. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have, battled their own bouts of anxiety. So for him, I think the most important thing to work on now is his mental health before, him getting out on the court. Obviously, mental health, physical health, that goes hand in hand. But I applaud him for going out there and putting it out there that he has, issues with his mental health, and we wish him nothing but the best.
Well, I agree with you, Coach. Sharing that point is actually one step ahead when it comes to mental health. But let's talk about Ben Simmons' fit here with this new team. He has a lot of shooters around him now, and he can create. It's what he does best. What can you say with that?
Well, we saw what Seth Curry did earlier. He went out there and scored 20 points. I went on the record and said that this is a good fit, getting Seth Curry there. But Ben Simmons will have to change his role on that team. Obviously, with Kyrie there, a very, very dominant ball handler. I look at him as being able to fill a type of Draymond Green type of role. Now, if you look at the way the team is constructed, Durant already played with the Warriors, with Steph and Clay. He can already show Ben Simmons this is what Draymond does. Kind of give him a little clue onto what makes Draymond Draymond.
Yeah.
Then you have shooters there. You got Seth already. Now you got Patty Mills. Imagine the spacing with Durant off the ball. You could even throw in a big man like Claxton or Drummond at the dunker spot.
Yeah.
Give it to Ben Simmons on the short roll, have him attack,
Extra pass.
Lob City,
or
kickouts. It works. It just works. But the catch there is that Ben has to buy in.
Yeah. Well, some reports were actually suggesting that maybe Ben Simmons could actually play not as a guard, but maybe as a small 4 or 5, considering the system and considering the potential shooters that he can have all around him.
Agreed.
But moving on now to the other side of that trade, a lot of people have been wondering about, James Harden, Joel Embiid. Will James Harden learn how to pass into the post? I think that's one of the biggest questions that's being asked. And your wish is that they make it work offensively. How do you see that working in your mind?
Okay, well, I went on the record again talking about Embiid does not roll to the basket.
Yeah.
I talked about how out of 100 pick and roll situations, Embiid only rolled to the basket 16 times. This is a similar situation to Ben Simmons where Embiid will have to buy into that screen and roll to the basket. It's not all his fault. If you look at the guards that he's played with, when they use the ball screen with Embiid, they aren't the type of guards like Harden where Harden can turn the corner. Harden can really attack off the ball screen. I think having Harden with him, if he buys into that screen and roll, will only make things easier for him when Harden uses that screen, attacks downhill to the basket, throwing lobs to Embiid. Embiid is stoppable once he gets the ball in the paint. And, it's going to be a give and take between the both of them.
Well, I agree with you, Coach. I'm sure James Harden will attract more defenses compared to the other guards of the 76ers. So I think that will open up things for Joel Embiid and their offense as well. But let's talk about the defense. They have Matisse Thybulle, who can also play defense. They have Tyrese Maxey, a good point guard who also plays great defense. Joel Embiid, they're a good defensive team. How do you think James will fit in here?
James will be James. You can't teach defense overnight.
Yeah.
What that will provide, though, is more shot block opportunities for Joel. Joel's
more helping opportunities.
Joel's just going to have to become the league leader in blocks. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, it'll be tough to see how he fits in defensively. Offensively, you kind of can see that. But then I think the question will be who gives more and who takes more in terms of that setup. Now moving on to the Mavericks in general. So the Mavericks gave up on that whole Doncic and Porzingis tandem, and now they had to move things around. Some people actually felt that the Mavs got very little for Porzingis, but Dinwiddie, now part of the Mavs team, you look at the whole setup here. You said that he is the answer, or you wish for him to be the answer to the playmaking woes of the Mavs. Can you put more context into that?
All right, if you look at this, on paper it looks like the Wizards got more out of getting Porzingis, but I look at it more of addition by subtraction. There was kind of a tug of war on the team on whose team is this? Is this Kristaps' team? Is this Luka's team? From the outside looking in, it's Luka's team.
Yeah.
But from the inside, you keep hearing reports about Kristaps wants the ball more. He wants a bigger role on the team. Now we don't have that issue anymore because obviously this is Luka's team moving forward. What has been the problem with regards to the Mavericks? It was their second unit. The first unit, you got Luka, you got Jalen. There was no issues as far as playmaking and distributing the ball. When it comes to the second unit, that has always been their issue. You add in Dinwiddie, who, if coming off an ACL, can get back to his Brooklyn Nets form, he fixes that issue. This guy operates great off the pick and roll. He can distribute the ball off the shooters. Teams now that like to go drop coverage, that means that they have their big man dropping back into the paint.
Yeah.
He has a beautiful floater in the lane. We're going to see a lot of that.
And we're going to be excited
Yeah.
how that's going to pan out with the Dallas Mavericks, with Luka running the show solo. So for the next one, though, for your next wish, Coach Willy, DeJounte Murray will be a dominant franchise player for the Spurs.
That's
Why do you wish
interesting.
this?
That's
he is
interesting.
averaging 20 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, and 9.4 assists. Plus, he plays defense too with 2 steals a game.
Oh, and last 10 games, I just add there, 22.7 points per game and 11.2 assists.
Wow.
It's insane.
I went on the record about this. The 76ers should have picked up DeJounte Murray. I said it. All right. I guess Daryl Morey got his man with regards to James Harden, but DeJounte Murray is a future star. Actually, he's a star now. He's a first-time All-Star. He's leading the league in steals. The sky is the limit for this guy. Now, what do the Spurs need to do? They just need to keep on building around him, keep on grooming him to be the man. He already leads the Spurs in career triple doubles.
Yeah.
Can you?
At this point.
At this point. So I see nothing but great things for him moving forward.
You know, you look at DeJounte Murray, and a lot of people are wondering, are the numbers that he has right now at the moment empty calories because of their record? He's not necessarily a player who wins them games yet. Yes, he gets the numbers, but then he's not at the point where he's lifting this team into a higher level in terms of playoffs. Or do you feel that it's just a case of, look, if he gets help, he'll probably still get those numbers and elevate the Spurs even further?
Well, the former. I think give him a little bit more help. Now, if you look at the wins and losses, his numbers are consistent across the board.
Yeah.
All right, consistent across the board. You give him a little bit more help, he's going to do his thing. And remember, he's doing all this and he's not hurting the team by turning the ball over. Imagine this, 58 assists with only 7 turnovers. I mean, this is like the opposite of what the Lakers are getting with Russell Westbrook. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
you had to bring that up.
I'm sorry I had to bring it back.
circle.
That's how frustrated I am with Russell Westbrook on the Lakers. I'm sorry. I just had to throw that out
No,
there.
that's all right. You know, actually, that's a perfect way to end things here,
Yep.
Coach Willy. Obviously, we feel really terrible about how you feel about the Lakers and Westbrook and the fact that they did not make a move.
I feel more
in the trade
terrible.
deadline.
I feel more terrible.
Yeah, I know you do. I mean, your team, the Portland Trail Blazers, are now winning by accident.
Well, I just
it feels
accepted
like.
it already that they're not going to win enough games, but they are winning.
Yeah,
so
they are winning.
I take that.
It's working, and my Jazz finally found the rhythm.
Yep.
So, good luck, Coach. It's gonna be a long season.
We need a lot of it. We
Yeah.
need a lot. We need a lot.
We really appreciate you coming over. And we
Good to see you here in the studio,
Always
Coach.
a great time. Always a great time. I love it here. Thanks.
All right, guys. So after the break, we'll check in with the Master Sardines as they get set to compete in the upcoming PBA 3x3 Lakas ng Tatlo Second Conference. Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
Welcome back to the game. I'm Diego Dario. The PBA 3x3 Lakas ng Tatlo second conference officially kicks off this weekend and the brand new squad is set to join the league. The Master Sardines will consist of former PBA draft picks, collegiate stars, and seasoned veterans John Mahari, Cyrus Tabi, Levy Hernandez, Mon Mabayo, Jeff Comia, and Nicole Sorella. Joining us tonight to talk about their...
Jake, sa akin yan, ha? Joining us tonight to talk about their upcoming campaign are two of their members, Mon Mabayo and Nicole Sorella. Mga idol, welcome to the game. Pasensya na, napapast break si Diego dyan eh.
Idol, welcome!
Welcome, boys. So, Mon, I want to start with you first kasi syempre kapag pinag-uusapan natin yung 3x3, iba talaga yung laro eh. Mas mabilis. In fact, yung mga habits, kailangan iba talaga eh. Kumusta naman yung adjustment period nyo doon?
Okay naman. Tingin ko, ready naman kami. Tsaka yung physicality ng PBA 3x3, yun. Ay kung sinishare dun sa mga young guys.
Kung physicality lang, Kuya Mon, sanay na sanay ka dun. Pero kay Kuya Mike naman, Kuya Mike, naging teammates tayo dati. You were drafted by TNT. Ngayon, nasa PBA 3x3 ka na. Masasabi mo ba na, medyo full circle yung nangyari sa'yo na nakalaro ka na, makakalaro ka na dito sa PBA?
Yes. Knowing na mag-draft ka and then suddenly nawala ka sa liga, napunta ka sa mga ibang leagues. And right now, I feel great kasi nakabalik ulit dito sa like you said, okay sa feeling niya nakabalik ulit dito sa PBA. Hindi ko masasabi kung tadhana ba talaga, pero I'll take advantage of it na and we'll prepare for it.
Alam mo, Jegs, na-mention ni Mon kanina about yung physicality ng 3x3 and actually it's funny kasi kung ginugol ko yung pangalan niya, may enforcer na description eh when you talk about Mon. Sikat na enforcer to eh. Pero Mon, yung physicality ng 3x3, yung ano yung expectations mo doon? Kasi syempre it's one thing to see it, but then to actually feel yung physicality na yun at yung cardio na kailangan, sa palagay nyo ba physically ready na kayo?
Nabanggit mo, sir, yung cardio. Kapagod talaga yung yung 3x3 na game. I'm happy dun sa grupo na meron ako ngayon, yung mga young guys. Pero everyday ng practice namin, lagi kong sinishare sa kanila na kung paano maglaro ng 3x3, lalong-lalo na yung physicality, yung cardio, kailangan natin yun. Tapos yung, lagi ako nanonood ng PBA 3x3 nung first conference pa. So, na-excite talaga ako pag nakikita ko sila maglaro, yung physicality, yung mga tawagan. So, yun, sinishare ko dun sa mga teammates ko. Yun yung we're looking forward to it sa Saturday. Sabi ko, kailangan ready tayo.
Mike, kamusta naman cardio mo?
So far, so good.
Okay.
Kasi makapag-prepare din kahit paano. And before we started practice talaga, yung Christmas break, ini-expect ko na, hindi ko in-expect na makuha ko dito, pero in-expect ko na, parang nilalagay ko yung sarili ko na baka may liga, gano'n, I have to stay ready and to stay fit. So kahit pa paano nakahabol. And right now, I guess, we are ready na on Saturday.
Kuya Mike, masasabi mo na medyo ikaw yung parang veteran leader dito sa team na to. At gusto ko lang malaman kung ano yung mindset mo going into the 3x3? A lot of the fans know you sa championship days mo sa San Beda, naglaro ka rin sa mga ibang leagues. Pero ito, ano yung pagkakaiba, ano yung mindset mo dito going into this new tournament?
Yung mindset ko dito, isa lang, I have to take advantage of this opportunity. And siyempre iba kasi yung dati, yung mga championships ko sa San Beda. Medyo yung maturity ko doon, iba pa. Saka iba talaga ngayon kasi right now, nakakabalik ulit sa PBA. And with these guys I have, mga teammates ko, I think this is very, very exciting for me. Kasi lalo to, gaya ng sabi ni Kuya Mon kanina, yung physicality, nakaka-excite din. Parang gusto kong maramdaman yung larong PBA talaga.
Mon, Let's talk about yung potential ng grupo ninyo. Kasi syempre, you have a few players that actually saw PBA action before at others. May konting chip on their shoulder wanting to prove themselves sa level na to. Can you talk about yung grupo ninyo at yung personality ng team ninyo?
Well, lahat ng team ni Coach Vic Icasiano, asahan mo na mostly talaga mga fighter yung yung mga players. So, yun nga sabi ko, I'm happy na sa group na kasi sa practice pa lang makikita mo na kung gaano sila ka-excited, yung intensity, yung aggressiveness ng mga bata na makapaglaro sa siyempre PBA 3x3 yan. So, yun nga, sinasabi ko sa kanila, opportunity yan kasi hindi naman lahat ng players nabibigyan ng chance na makapaglaro sa malalaking liga kaya ng PBA 3x3. So, yun, lalo na yung mga bata, they want to prove themselves So, ito yung chance nila na pakita kung ano sila maglaro.
Mike, grabe si Kuya Mon, no? Kasi sobrang media ready. Oo.
Ay, grabe.
Marunong sumagot
Ready na sa
talaga.
PBA si
Oo, ready na rin.
About veteran. Matic yan.
Oo.
Pero Kuya Mike,
Pagandaan ko.
yung naman, let's talk about, your team. Anong gusto niyong ma-achieve dito sa team? Nakita ko yung lineup niyo and the fans saw it also na most of your teammates can switch on ball screens, mga off-ball screens. Maganda yung lineup nyo specifically for 3x3. Tingin nyo, kaya nyo ba makakuha ng championship?
Yes. Aside from staying positive, I think we can do it. Kasi seeing with these guys, mga gaya ng sabi ni Piamon, fighter talaga ng style yung coaching ni Coach Vic. And ayun, nakikita ko naman sa mga kasama ko. Every day we work hard, we motivate each other talaga. We push each other talaga para to be ready and yun nga, goal namin is to win games.
Medyo baptism by fire yung first games ninyo. Pool A alongside Ginebra, Sista, Terra Firma at yung Grand Finals runner-up, Platinum Karaoke. Mon, message to the fans out there who are excited and curious to see kung paano kayo lalaro for Master Sardines.
To all PBA 3x3 fans, we're hoping na supportahan nyo kami dito sa second conference ng PBA 3x3, lalong-lalo na yung lahat ng taga Zamboanga. We're excited to represent Zamboanga City Master Sardines. And hopefully supportahan nyo kami and ma-prove namin yung sarili namin, kami mga players, kami lahat na kaya namin maglaro sa PBA 3x3.
Well, Kuya Mike, Kuya Mon, maraming salamat and best of luck sa inyo. Sana magpadala naman kayo ng sardinas dito sa The Game family. But also, don't miss out on the PBA 3x3 Lakas ng Tatlo action as they kick off the new conference this weekend, February 19.
We'll give you the latest from the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics when we return. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. back. You're watching the game. I'm Paulo Del Rosario. Time for some frosty updates from the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. In snowboarding, big air, China's 17-year-old Su Yiming snatches the gold in the men's division, while Australia's Anna Gasser defends her title in the women's division at the age of 30. Mathilde Grimold of Switzerland was also able to win a gold, this time over home crowd favorite Gu Ailing in women's free ski slopestyle. Following these wins, here's the medal tally as of 4 p.m. today. Norway comes in cold at the top. Germany freezes at second place, while Australia and China go neck and neck at fourth and fifth, and Switzerland rises to the 8th spot. Meanwhile, lone Filipino winter athlete Asa Miller takes on the slalom tomorrow as he looks to close his 2022 Beijing Games bid on a high note. His event starts at 10 a.m. You can catch Asa Miller and the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympic Games on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and on the Beijing Winter Olympics channel via Signal Channel 198 SD and 298 HD.
And that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Diego Dario.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.